All right. Welcome, everyone. I know we're kind of a small group, and it's like, why does she need a microphone? Because I am loud enough to talk. But we are recording this for those that weren't able to make it. Thank you all for those that were able to make it. It is a huge blessing to have you all here. For those that weren't able to make it, for various reasons, we're recording it, and the only way they can hear what's being said is through this microphone. So if you have a question, I'm either going to repeat it into the microphone or hand you the microphone to ask it so that they can hear it as well. So Cliff, when you're teaching too, you got to have the microphone and then repeat questions so that those that are watching are able to know as well. So let's start with prayer and then we'll get going. So Lord, I thank you so much for today. I thank you for the opportunity to be here, to be a part of this ministry. I thank you for those that are here serving, that have a heart to want to share you with all the kids that are going to be part of this program. And so this program would not be possible without you. It's so fun to get to watch you work through it. And so please just be with us today. Be with Cliff, myself, and Cassie as we're doing the training and moving forward with it, and just give us the words and clarity, and let us have sweet fellowship between all the coaches as well. And we give this time to you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Again, thank you all for being here. I am Amber. I think I met most of you walking in, so it's nice, some of you that I haven't met before, to put a face to a name, so it's good to see you guys. And then those that have been here in the past, thank you again. The program doesn't run without you. So come on in. So, again, I'm Amber. I am the admin of the program, so I do all the paperwork, all the scheduling, all the things like that. Cliff here is my commissioner, as they call him in the program, for football. So he's your guru that has all the football answers. You'll ask me something, and I might look at you and be like, I don't even know what that word is. Let's go find Cliff. So he's the football, and then we have Cassie over here. Hi Cassie. She is my cheer commissioner, which I'm so thankful for both of them, because I would not be able to do this without them as well. And then we have Matt Kessie is our pastor over the program, and so he is unable to be here today. He was sad that he missed, but you'll see him throughout the season and stuff as well. Many of you might have talked to him already on the phone and stuff, as he's reached out to some that are new coaches and everything. So that's kind of your staff for the main part for the program, if you need to get a hold of anyone directly. All right, so some of the things that I'm going to go over right now is more of the admin side of things, and then we're going to split off, and cheer gals will go down into the junior high room, and then football will stay here and be with Cliff. Before we do get started any further, though, so that anyone who doesn't know, obviously there's treats over here, food. Please help yourself with drinks. We got coffee, tea, and some drinks over there, and then right through those doors off to your left are the restrooms. So if you need to use the restroom, please feel free to get up and do that as well. Let me turn this off really fast. I've been getting texts this morning from different people that weren't able to make it, so I wanted to be able to answer those. But now I'm talking. Okay. So we're going to start with one very important thing, and that's communication, right? So I'm going to set this down right here. Hopefully they can still see me on the video. Today, in the back, I had the sign-in. I think I grabbed everyone. You signed in. You checked your phone number, your email address, and then your shirt size. I am having some requests for if you want a short sleeve or a long sleeve. I can make that happen if you tell me and request it. Right now it's set up. Football is getting the long sleeve shirts. Cheer is getting the short sleeve shirts. If you want to switch that, let me know. It might get a little messy on the back end, but I will make it happen because they have it set like, what are your cheer coaches getting? What are your football coaches getting? But we can switch those around. So right now it is set long sleeve, short sleeve, and I'm going to leave it that way unless you personally contact me and send me an email, and I'll change it. Okay? Fair enough. And then you're also checking back there. I gave you your rosters, your coach book, the ref schedule. So back there you'll see how we run football so that because it takes lots of people, and with reffing and coaching and different things, how we do it is basically for our kindergarten and first graders, the coaches, just you guys ref your own games. Basically, you are out there helping the kids learn the game and move around and everything. Second and third, and then 4 through 6, what we do is I break it up to where you coach a game and you ref a game, and they're right back to back, right? And so the way we do it, most teams only have to ref 3 games. This last season we had 6 games. This season we have 7, so there is 1 extra. So that first group that went the first time goes a third time. But that very last day, if there's anyone who isn't scheduled on there that would like to volunteer, or if there's anyone that's scheduled that's like, I can't do that one, let me know and we can work with that, okay? But right now that's how it's scheduled back there. So I just need to know if there's a Saturday for sure you're not going to be here and you're on the reffing schedule, we need to get that changed so we can move some people around, okay? You're welcome to write on those schedules back there. I have 2 red pens, so just make sure whatever you change on any of those sheets back there, it's in red so I see it. And then if something comes up, obviously, through the season, or you go home and you're like, oh, I forgot about that, just send me an email, okay? And so that is what we talk about next is what's the best way to contact me? And it is through email. I try to check it every day and get back to you, especially through the season as things come up. And then to contact Cliff and myself and even Cassie, band is a great way. So all of you should have got an email requesting to have you log into Band and create an account. It's an app that we use that helps keep everyone in communication for the season. I will be going through either today or tomorrow and seeing who is on there because I'm checking off once you sign up on there. And then if you're not, you're going to be getting an email from me again with the invitation to try to get you logged into that because that is really important. Starting on the 29th, that's where the main source of my communication is going to come from. I'm going to be posting everything on there and no longer sending emails. If I send out something really, really important on Band, I'll sometimes send a email out that says, please check Band. But that's all it's going to say because it gets confusing when we have so many forms of communication, and that's what we found to just be the best way because as coaches have questions and you post it on there, then everyone is seeing the question, everyone's seeing the answer. Coaches are answering questions for other coaches, and it just helps bring that community together so we can work together as a team, okay? Matt Kessie will be on there as well, so if you need to contact him. Cassie and Cliff throughout the season will be posting maybe different drills to run ideas or different new cheers ideas you can use, just different encouragements throughout the season to kind of give you guys as coaches as well to be able to utilize with your teams. Okay. And then communication with your parents. So this is one, I did not get logged in, Cliff, on the internet. Is your laptop hooked up to the internet or is that download? It's not hooked up to the internet. Okay. So we're going to do this a little bit different. Sorry. So I sent you a link, all of you a link last night through email, and then I sent it to everyone who hadn't accepted that email yet in a text form this morning to get onto myupwards.org. And this is how you're able to see your team rosters, communicate with your team, get all your devotionals. Basically, that whole coach book that you have in front of you is also on the My Upwards app so that you can just have that with you as well. The best thing to do, you can see this little black spot right here is the My Upwards. I wish it was bigger, I'm sorry. I saved it to my home screen. And then it would open up and you're going to see the My Upwards sports login, okay? So then if I log in, you're going to have it come up and it's going to look like this, okay? And so in here is where you're able to do everything. So I'm going to change mine to look like a coach, and it's going to look the same, essentially. So here is your team one that a coach is going to see. Your first one up here, it says get started, so preparing for your season. The second one says team. When you click on team, it gives you your full roster there, okay? So you're going to be able to see your roster. Next, right under the name here, you're going to see something that says team page. If you click on that, it opens up a team page, and that you can email out or send out to your parents so that they can get access to this. It will show all your practices. It will show all of your games. It will show what uniform you're supposed to wear, what color, all of that directly on here. Has the coach information at the bottom, my league director information, so that they have that. Now, That's all great and dandy for kindergarten and first, second and third in football, and all of cheer. But your 4th through 6th grade coaches, since we have changed things up a little bit, you are not going to be using that team page because your teams are going to be changing weekly. And so we will be talking about that and how that communication is going to go and everything as we move forward. In another spot, Cliff will kind of mention it. And then afterwards, we were hoping the few 4th through 6th grader team leads that are here can stay and we'll kind of talk through that with you guys too to give you more of that information. Okay? So that's the main important spot on there is that you have that team page that you can see your games and practices. You can move your players in ranking there if you want to. In football, it's a little different than soccer. So for those of you that coach soccer for me, that ranking is really important because it puts them where they're going to go. And you have all your A's playing at the same time and all of your E's playing at the same time, so it's more level. Where in football, that ranking, correct me if I'm wrong, Cliff, you're just looking at, you're going to have your quarterbacks doing stuff, and then everyone else is rotating through, and you just need to make sure all the kids get equal playing time. And it's not necessarily you're trying to you're keeping your quarterbacks as your A's there, but then everyone else is moving around to the different positions. Is that correct in that statement sort of thing? Do you have a question? You're thinking through that. Yes. So what's going to happen? Yeah. Yes. So what we're going to do is that first week of practice is actually the evaluation week. So Cliff's going to be there with you guys. All the coaches will have forms, be able to be writing things down. You guys will communicate with him. You guys are going to find our top 8 quarterbacks in the league. And then those quarterbacks we're going to pair together with a coach. So you will have 2 quarterbacks, Scott will have 2 quarterbacks, Caden will have 2 quarterbacks, Robert will have 2 quarterbacks. And those will stay with you so that you can do the plays and different things. Those quarterbacks, we're going to get the wristbands so that you can keep plays in the wristband for them to help with it. And then everyone else will rotate through, moving through the different coaches, and then the quarterbacks will be your firm that will be helping guide on the field. So is what that's going to look like. Okay.
What was the change? The reasoning behind it? The reasoning is because we had some stacked teams last year. Well, not stacked, but we had kids that were well advanced that are all on one team. Because when we initially did the actual evaluations, everyone evaluates differently. And so, at different stations. So what happens is you get, 4, 5, 6 good kids on one team, and then the other team ends up with 4, 5, 6 of the lower end kids that never played. So just to try to keep it fair, and it kind of alleviates the stacked teams because they're always changing throughout the season. So the quarterbacks will stay the same. They'll run the plays. It's just kind of an old school way of kind of like when you used to go to the park and you pick people. So we were going to try it, see if it works, if it's fun, if the kids like it. If it doesn't work, obviously we can go back to the original way of doing things. It doesn't. Simple, very simple, color coded. One of those ones where a quarterback can just raise his arm and say, "Hey, you're green. This is your route. You're the green dot. This is your route." So. It's kind of like what I did when we had during the pandemic. I had 3 flag teams here, and that's what I did. I just kept plays simple, and I color coded them, and that way the quarterback who was running the league or running the team could say, this is what you do. This is what you do. Run play 2. So, just trying to keep it a little more evenly matched across the board.
So are all the kids going to rotate like totally different teams? They're not on the same teams even?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only ones they're saying are the quarterbacks. So you're gonna have 2 quarterbacks that are gonna be with they're not those will be your guys that stay with the team.
It'll be a complete scramble with everybody else.
Right. That way you can at least teach the plays to the quarterback who's gonna run the offense, and that'll give everyone else some playing time and figure out the routes and stuff. So.
And with that quarterback, we had talked about you're going to have 2 quarterbacks, so that's just knowing that you have those. But as kids are coming through that want to try quarterback, or you're seeing in practice are showing skills of throwing and wanting to do that, you can rotate them into those positions. You just know you have 2 kids that can throw the ball, that can play quarterback for you so that we can keep play going. And we're not getting all of the quarterback throwers on one team one week and you have none. And, we want to just make sure that that's steady for you guys. So, yeah. So hopefully that kind of helps explain that some. Yeah. Cliff says we'll know in week 3 if it doesn't work, and we'll figure it out. Yeah. So I think it's going to be good. I've got good feedback so far. One of the other reasons was to get more practice time. So that was one of the things is with football, you just need more practice time. And so we went from 1 hour a week of practice to now kids can practice for 3 hours a week if they come Monday and Friday for the hour and a half, and then they have the game. So we also went from just 2 hours of play time to 4 hours now for those older grades to try to get more play time for them and stuff.
My first concern when I heard we're doing this was the quarterback issue.
Yes.
Because every kid's going to want to be quarterback.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this is going to be horrible. You say that we get 2 quarterbacks and they're there. That'll
Yes.
at least help with that. Right.
Yeah. And you can rotate other ones through, but that is, you're going to have a set quarterback. Yeah. Yeah. Right. And try. Yes. Yep. So every kid can still get a chance to try it, but to keep the game going, we have to have set quarterbacks to at least play those plays out. So, yeah. Yeah. So for those online that just didn't hear Scott, he just said that another good thing about this was during practice and scrimmages, kids will get to practice quarterback more too and get those chances because we're going to have more scrimmage time. So that's really good. Okay, so we talked about going into the My Upwards link, being able to look on there. The one last thing I didn't get to show you yet on there is when you go in here, you're going to go down, there's communication. So that's where you can send out texts to your parents. You can send out emails to your parents. That will be there. And then if you go back to the main page, you have game day. So when you click on game day, you go to the game. It's going to ask you if you're starting offense or defense. You're going to click on that one, and then it's going to give you your roster to rotate through to know that all the kids are going through and getting that equal amount of play time. Now, how that works with quarterbacks, you're going to have to still move them around a little bit in your ranking to make sure your quarterbacks are opposite of when they're going in. So you're not or you're just going to have to keep track a little bit more, if that makes sense. Because it might not always know who's your quarterback, where you got to put them. So just be aware of that. Questions on the My Upwards app? Did you go through the link that I sent you? So you have to go through the link. Yep. So, but once you click that link, it will take you to the login page. And then if you log in, it'll log you in and flood that into your current account. But just to go into My Upwards, you haven't accepted the invitation yet. So, yeah. So you got to accept that invitation first. So. And then it'll ask you to reset. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. All right. And then the My Upwards, we just went through all of those, the team information, things to show on the app, how to send the team page. We did all that, devotional. It's important on there also, and in your book is where you have your devotions. You can look through on there. You have different skills and drills, different practices, what to go through on each practice. I do not expect you guys to follow it to the T, obviously. You guys are coaches. I trust you guys to guide your team in the way that you want to guide them in that. But I do always want to make sure that we stay with the main focus of what our ministry is here, and that is sharing the gospel with our kids, right? And so we love football, we love cheer, we love doing all that, but devotion time is essential and very important that you spend quality time in that, connecting with the kids, talking to them, praying with them, and going through those devotionals each week. When it comes to game day, there isn't a set devotional for game day, but it is important that you still wrap that up at the end of the game. You bring them together, they get snacks, you go through, do the star stickers with them. I know that's hard sometimes as a coach to always remember to have them with you or to go through them or to get the kids focused at the end, but it is really important to kids. It's not to us as parents or as coaches all the time. It's like, it's a sticker. What's the big deal? But to the kids, it is important. And I hear from the kids that coaches don't do it. Yeah, he never gave us stickers, or she never did, or she always forgot and said she'd do it at practice, but we didn't get him at practice, or like they remember, and it is important to them. And it builds into them by talking about what was it that you noticed about them and what it is. And so that is really important. You will get sticker books with your coach packet when the uniforms come. And in the back of it, it actually lets you write your team names out and keep track of what stickers were given out each week and different things like that, so you can keep track of who gets what in there. So just be aware there is that in the back of the book too. You also will have practice day devotion cards that you'll get, and so handing those out with those have the weekly verses. It's really neat when coaches try to encourage memorization of those verses. So like if you memorize this verse and come back and say it to me next practice, then whatever it is, the reward you're going to do. If you get so many check marks, we get this, or whatever it is. You guys can think about that, of how that is run. And even with the 4th through 6th graders, how you guys want to run that with verses. If you want to try to do memorization, if they get practice cards on Monday, Friday we might have different kids, but those that got them on Monday, if they send them to you, like having that availability that kids, once they memorize a verse, to be able to come to a coach and say, hey coach, I memorized the verse, and tell you and really encourage them in that. Okay. That's a really big deal. So, let's see here. Another fun way to do stickers that I've seen coaches do is to get parents involved. So this would be more for cheer and those 2 younger ages in football, where you have a consistent team, where you take the stickers and even can divvy them out over the 7 weeks, and then you pick a parent or a set of parents for that week, and you give it to them and say, can I put you in charge of stickers? And you have that parent watch the kids, and they then get to come to huddle and say, okay, I watched you guys, and this is what I saw, and they pass out the stickers to give those rewards to the kids, and that kind of can take some of that off of you guys, and it gets the parents involved as part of that process of encouraging the children as well. So that's just an option that you guys can utilize also. When you need a sub, so please utilize your assistant coaches and ask your parents. So if you need a sub, you're not going to be there on a game day, you're not going to be there on a practice day, let me know, and then let me know if you have found a sub. So that would be, like I said, your assistant reaching out to parents saying, hey, I'm going to be gone this week. Is there anyone that's able to step up and help with practice or help with games? If you don't have anyone, then you let me know, and I will find someone to put into that spot. If you do have someone and like both coaches are gone and you're like, but we got this set of parents that are going to step up for us, that's great. Let me know, and I can get them at least access to your app online, or we can figure out how to do that, or whether it's you share, okay, you can sign in this way, but we just want to make sure that they're set up to be able to do that for you guys and feel confident in it, okay? Some of the other things with that, if you need to change, cancel practice, please let me know that as well. When it comes to weather, I leave that up to the discretion of the coaches. The only thing, as far as when it came to soccer, if you coach soccer for me, you know, Matt is a firm believer that the only reason soccer gets canceled is for lightning, okay? Everything else we're playing, okay? When it comes to practice time, I'll leave that to your guys' discretion and some of that. Obviously, lightning is a no-go. Everyone clears the field. You see lightning, we clear the field. Till it either passes or practice is done and everyone's off the field. The other one in the fall that we always got to deal with some is wind. So how windy is it? You know, if it's such a dust storm from all the development over there that we can't even see and different things, it might be that we need to call it, you know. Soccer, there was some snow. Hopefully we don't have snow during this season. That wasn't always necessarily fun. Hopefully that's not the case, but if it does somehow come to an early winter for us, we'll look at those things. But for the most part, I'm going to leave it at the discretion of the coaches. I will, if I notice the weather is crazy, I'll post something on Band and say, put some meme on there or something and like who's practicing, who's not, so you guys can let me know. And then we can look at rescheduling. I say that rescheduling, but our fields are completely booked. So we can, if there are some that need to be moved around, if it's before game day starts, we do have Saturdays where we can reschedule a practice onto Saturday probably. If it's once game day starts, then that's not going to work because Saturday the fields are taken. So it would be looking at maybe sharing some fields if we had to last minute or things like that. So there is options. They're just not as fluid as we had for soccer sort of thing, okay? Other things to know about. So the logistics. So our fields. Field 1 is this field right out here by the sanctuary. So it's the larger field. Field 2 is the one that's further over by the playground and the baseball field, okay? So that's field 2. Field 2 is slightly smaller than field 1. Due to scheduling and stuff, kindergarten and first play on both fields at 9:15, that first game. And then for our 10:30 game and our 11:45 game, our 4 through 6 are always on the larger field, and our second and third is always on the smaller baseball field, is how that's split up, okay? So you guys know if you're always on 1 or always on 2. Those are our times of our games for this season. It's 9:15, 10:30, and 11:45. That will change on October 1st when we have pictures, and I'll send out a different schedule for you guys that day with all the picture information and all of that, okay? So that will be getting to you. Team sizes, just so you guys know kind of logistics of that. Our kindergarten first, we have 10 players on each one. Second and third have 10 players, and then 4 through 6 have 12 players. This is also the same for cheer. So that 4th through 6th grade team, you have 12 girls on your team, and then all the other ones have 10 or less, okay, is how we have that set up. Practices. So cheer this year, you guys are in the courtyard. So you have this whole area here. There's some flat ground over by the sanctuary. There's some right outside this door here, so it's kind of just finding spots in the courtyard. There's only one team ever cheering at a time, so you guys have this whole area to be able to spread out in and utilize, okay? Kindergarten through 3rd grade, you guys are on Tuesday, Thursdays, and you have that schedule, and then the 4th through the 6th is that Monday, Friday time slot, okay? Our Monday head coach is Scott, so he's going to kind of be the running as far as everyone's coaching there, but he's going to be the one that just helps, okay, this is how we're going to organize it, and this is what we're going to do for it, and be able to help everyone do that. Yes? So you guys are Tuesdays and Thursdays. So the schedule's back there. I don't remember exactly. I believe you guys are you a Thursday? It's back there. Have you seen the emails with the schedules or anything? Some of them. Okay, I'll show you. I've got your schedule right back there. But you are on a Tuesday or a Thursday at either 4:30 or 5:30. So, yep. So Scott is kind of the head on Mondays, and then Robert is the head on Fridays. And so they've been working together on what drills and things like that. So on those days, they'll just be the ones that we just got to have someone kind of overseeing, but everyone's working together. So your whole team is on Fridays. It's Robert and Matt and Chuck and Seth are all on Fridays. So you guys are working together. And then Scott and Adam and Kevin and Caden are on Mondays and working together. Now, for those of you on the 4th through 6th grade team, I have it set to where you only have to be at one practice. If you are bringing a child to the Monday practice, if you have time and want to be on the Monday practice, but you're working, or you do Friday practice, but you want to be there on Mondays too, that's great. The more the merrier, the more hands, the more coaches, that's awesome. Just communicate that with Scott and Robert so they know how many coaches to expect to be able to utilize you to the best that they can. So we love that. So again, if someone's coaching on Monday and they want to help out on Friday too, that's great, okay? We already talked about evaluations the first week, the 2 quarterbacks that are going to stay, the rest of the players moving through. Every Monday, so this is how communication is going to work. Every Monday, I am going to change your roster. And then I'm going to send a text out to all the children's parents about who team they're on that week, the time they have to be there, what jersey to wear, and then the coach's name and your phone number. So all that information will go directly to the parents every week so that they know where their child's supposed to be and at what time. Okay, and then I'm also going to print off schedules for you guys to hand out when they get their uniforms so that they have every week's schedule of where their child is through the season to help communicate that. They will have my information to always be able to email me and contact me about if they had a question about a game or like, I can't remember where my child's supposed to be. I will have it at the announcement stand. So there will be numerous ways that they can find. I'll have it posted on Band and I'll have it posted on Facebook. Okay, so we'll have the multiple different things. And then I also send out emails, reminders on Fridays. So that's how I did it through soccer is I don't like to bombard parents with things throughout the week. So every Friday I send out an email that just says things about weather or things to remember or concessions or whatever it is they need to know for game day. Remember game day and any reminders. And so the schedule will always be attached to that as well. Okay. And then snacks. How are we going to run those snacks for 4th through 6th grade? So that's the other thing of the rotation that we figured out. So what's going to happen is once I build the schedule the second week, it is going to be a set schedule for the season. So I'm going to build it the second week, and then you guys will see your whole season worth of players. I will then send an email out to parents and have them sign up for snacks for whatever team they're on during that week. I'll just ask for volunteers. If I don't get enough, I will then provide snacks through Calvary to do that, okay? So it'll just be, we'll put it out there and we'll see. And then Cliff will always have, he's our commissioner on Saturdays. He'll always have backup snacks if they need to be pulled out, or he'll know where backup snacks are to be pulled out to be able to give to a coach if you're like, no one brought snacks. Cliff! And we'll have snacks. Okay, so we'll figure that out as we go. Equipment, so you guys know, is in the green trailer still. It's out by our playgrounds out there. There's a big Connex out there that's gray. There's a little green trailer. That's where that is at. That is where you're going to find... I just realized something. Sorry. I was brain thought. Our cheer dots were supposed to be here by now, and they haven't shown up, so I need to look into that. So cheer is going to have place dots for your teams. I don't have them for the older team because I figured you guys are good, but all the younger teams, we got sets for everyone to be able to utilize. So those will be in the trailer. And then football, all of your equipment will be in the trailer. I've got 2 bags of the smaller size footballs for kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And then I have 1 bag of 10 for the older age group that's a little bit larger. Okay, so those will be out there. There will be cones out there that we use for soccer and football, just the small like disc ones that you can use as well. One thing I don't have is practice jerseys, like pennies. That might be something. Is that something that is needed? No. Well, the flags are the same color too. So flags, how are we going to run flags? Last year, the coaches kept their team's flags. And so that way things didn't get lost as much. Kids didn't forget them because without a flag, there's no playing flag football, right? And so something that might be nice for you guys to just have a bag that the kids always have them when they put them on. Check that they have the flags. When they take them off, have a parent help you put them in the bag or something and make sure all those pop sockets are hooked together and put back in the bag, okay? 4 through 6, that's one thing we hadn't talked about. So I'm wondering if we don't even pass them out to kids and we just keep all the flags. We just keep all the flags and they don't have their own. So that's what we're going to do. So that 4 through 6, you guys are just going to have a huge bag of flags that when the kids show up, everyone grabs a belt, puts it on. At the end of practice, everyone puts it back in there, and I'll just make sure that I have enough in there, plus extras, so that we don't have to worry about that. Out in the trailer. So that's what we'll end up doing. But the younger, Nope. So it's a key. So what will happen is whoever is that 4:30 practice, you go into the office, and Caitlin has the key in there. So even the 5 o'clock. So if you guys, you're going to be here before 5, the office closes at 5. She has the key hanging at her desk. So you just go in there, get the key from her, unlock it, take the key back to her, leave it open. So the 4:30 opens it. 5:30 at the end of practice, you guys make sure all the equipment gets put back in, and then you lock it up, and then it's done, okay? So the end of Mondays and Fridays, at the end of your practice, you guys just make sure all the equipment gets back and locked up, okay? So that's how the key and getting into that trailer works. You also have 8 pylons per field so that you can mark off those end zones. You have the cones available. Cliff will be there for the Monday, Friday practices the first and second week maybe. Are you planning on doing Tuesday, Thursday at all that first week? Or you maybe do them the second week? Maybe. So he's going to be just popping in to try to help you guys as coaches, answer questions, get a structure. If you have any questions about that for coaching, a structure of practice, things like that, he's a great resource. Reach out to him on Band, and then you guys can get in touch with each other and go from there. Setup and cleanup. So I have it to where kindergarten and first grade coaches, you are on duty for setup since the older grade coaches are helping with reffing. So you'll look on that schedule, and I have it divvied out to where you're not every morning coming at 8:15 to set up, but you have 1 or 2 mornings that you're going to come a little earlier just to help Cliff and Matt set up all the fields and everything, okay? So that you guys are aware of how that works. And then structure of the game. So we got the lineup and the run through. So what happens here is if you did soccer with us, we moved our tunnel. We're coming back over here. That's why I moved our games to 9:15 so we're not interrupting men's breakfast. And so right here where this pergola is where our tunnel goes. And then all the teams line up in the courtyard. And I will have signs, home team, visitor team, field 1, home team, visitor team, field 2, cheer signs, okay? There is only 1 cheer team per game the whole season, so you're never doubled up. So what's going to happen is you guys are going to, that cheer team for, if it's field 1's cheer team will line up in front of the tunnel. They will cheer on both teams that run through, and then the cheer team will be called through. Then field 2's cheer team will come up by the tunnels. They'll cheer on those football players, and then they will get to run through the tunnel. And that's how the calling through will work on Saturday to be able to do that. And then the start of the game, we always remember that we start our games with prayer, and that's with the cheer team and both football teams. Gather in the center, those refs helping do that, or on those younger age groups, the coaches helping just gather everyone and start with that open with that prayer, okay? And then the structure of the game is it is 7v7, okay? So you've got 7 players playing out there. You've got 4 quarters that are 9-minute quarters, okay? And then 1 8-minute halftime. So cheer, ladies, that 8-minute halftime is yours to utilize. Just watch your time on it. Most of the time, before when we had 2 teams, you only got 4 minutes, and that seemed beneficial and fine. Yeah, it seemed fast, but so you'll get more time in that. Just make sure you're not going over that. So try to keep it at 7 so that they know, you in that 1 minute, the football coaches see, okay, cheer's done. That means we're going back on the field here soon, sort of thing. So just be aware of that. Now, Cassie will talk more to you about what you can do during that halftime and everything over in your training, but just utilize it as a way to show the parents the skills the girls are learning. It doesn't have to be dance. It could be the cheers. It could be jumps that you're teaching. It just can be movements of hands. It could be saying your verse. That would be amazing if you guys start to get them to memorize verses and then they come out and, yeah. I'm sorry. Share their verse with everyone, and just really keep Jesus at the center of everything we're doing, all right? Yes, and then stickers and devotionals after the games. And check in with the kids there. Team boxes. There aren't team boxes this year. I think that changed last year. If I remember right, you guys, we were divvying them out a little bit different. So it's basically you're going to get the jerseys all together, and for the kids, you'll get a mesh bag. And then this year we did not do posters, which I might have to look. I don't know that the older kids, how are we going to do this? Because basically for the flags is what kids do is they put their stickers on their flags. Instead of the posters at home, they put them on their flags. But as they're getting pulled off or for the 4th through 6th, that's not going to work, so I'm going to think through that and figure out what we're going to do with that. Cheer, you guys have megaphones this year, and so the stickers go on the megaphones instead of a poster. So to give you an idea for that, I will be sending out details and pictures once all of that material arrives. I would expect that I'm going to be passing those out the first Sunday or the second Sunday for sure by the second Sunday of September. So I think that's the 10th. And the other one's the 4th. The only one, the 4th, I'm not sure, is it is Labor Day weekend, which that also does bring up those of you who have the Monday practice. You guys have to decide if September 5th you're going to hold that practice or not. And so seeing what coaches are available, how you guys want to do that, we can talk about that afterwards, but I did think about that last night. So just watch band for when that is going to be. I distribute those out to the coaches, and then you guys get them to your players. It is so, so important that as soon as you get those to your players, you have them try them on, and you report back to me right away if any changes need to happen. And because if I get the text from the parent 2 days before the first game, I didn't know I had to report by this time, and now they don't fit, and this, I'm not going to be able to help them as much because Upwards isn't we're not getting as many extras to be able to change. It's you give them to the kids, they tell me, I order extras, they give them back, and we exchange that way. Now, we try to do it within the league as well. So, like, if one team is like, I need a large here, and this team's like, I have a large, but I need a medium, and I can swap between teams. I try to do that as much as I can. But if I have to order them, I need at least a week to be able to get that to us before the game. Otherwise, it might be that they have to deal with what they have until I'm able to get that. And I want to try to have all the kids have what they need. So really, really important. You give them the uniform, you check in with every parent and have them then report back to me, okay? Or actually, you guys report back to me, and I'll be putting stuff on band, like, please list everything here, and if you do it there, then I always have a reference to come back to. So that's the really important with band communication. Okay. Important dates to know about. August 21st, I will be sending out, so that's tomorrow, I'm going to send out all the rosters to the parents. And so you have your rosters now, and it's important that you guys start reaching out to your players. 4th through 6th grade coaches, I have divvied up the players through you guys to be able to reach out to all of them, but it's not your set players, obviously. So you're just reaching out to them and telling them how the season's going to flow, what we're doing with it. Cliff will talk more in detail with you guys about that, about what you need to say. And, as far as just, introduce yourself as one of the coaches. Let them know that practice is Mondays and Fridays from 5 to 6:30. They do not have to be at both. We encourage them to be at both because that's what we want is more playtime, more interaction time. But some of them might have put that Monday was their exclusion day that they couldn't practice on, so they're going to be there Fridays, things like that. So it's not required that they're there both times, but it is available, and we do encourage them to be able to be there. Explain to them kind of how the flow of the season's going to go. The first week is going to be evaluations. We are specifically going to be looking for quarterbacks. Those quarterbacks will stay with specific coaches, and then we will be rotating the players through. And the reason why, if they ask, is what Cliff explained, we wanted more play time. We wanted to balance the teams better, kind of looking at doing it a different way and seeing how it goes. If they ask about snacks and things like that, kind of what I've explained through there, I'll be sending information out as well for that. I will be drafting an email and sending that to them too, but they're going to have the questions for you guys. And if you get questions and you're like, I'm not sure, I'll reach out to Amber and I'll find out for you, then send that to me, and then I can send out emails too. Once you guys report back to me with all those questions, then I can send a bulk email out to everyone, frequently asked questions, and write those questions down with the answers so those parents have the answers. Because the biggest thing with this, to make it work, I think the kids are going to enjoy it a ton. I think they're going to have fun working with all their friends and moving around. But it's the communication aspect and keeping it simple for you coaches and for the parents. And so that is my goal. If something seems too much or overwhelming or it's just not working right, please communicate that to me, because I am here to make it easier on you guys as best as I can. So if there's something I can change or something I can do to make it better and easier on you guys, I want to be able to do that. Okay? Okay. Yeah. 21st. So tomorrow I'm going to send out So basically, I'm telling you, the parents are going to get their rosters tomorrow. I would like you guys to contact parents by the 24th is kind of what I had told them. So basically from today, you have 4 days to try to contact them. Now, does that mean you have to talk to everyone individually? No. If it means you need to leave at least a voice message for them, or that you've made that attempt, you've tried to personally call them, left voice messages, maybe sent out a text, things like that. I really do like it when you talk to them personally. It makes a difference. When parents hear a voice, you introduce yourself, things like that. But if there's one that you're having trouble getting a hold of, like you're like, I've tried calling, they don't have a voicemail, the phone number's not working, I've tried texting, I've tried emailing, nothing, silence, reach out to me, because that might mean that we have a problem in the phone number or something like that, and then I can try to see what I can do on my end, okay? The 26th, both coaches and refs, which all of our coaches are refs also, need to be done with your background checks and your ministry safe training. Many of you have coached for me before. You were still up to date in that. I will be reaching out this next week if I don't have those things and sending emails out specifically to those people saying, I still need this from you. Let's chat. What do I need to do to help? Things like that, okay? So if you don't hear from me next week, then you should be good. But I also have a list back there, so if you need to check with me, we can look over that as well. The 29th is the season start. The 5th was Labor Day, so we got to figure out if you guys want to practice. The 17th is the first game day, and then games will be every Saturday until October 29th, 28th, 29th, whatever that last 29th, okay? And then, yep, I have that right here in front of me. And then that first game, the 17th, is women's retreat, ladies. So if you are going to be gone, either you have a Friday practice and going to be gone, or you're gone that Saturday for that first game, you need to let me know, and we need to make sure that we get that filled for you with either a parent or a substitute or different things. So I don't expect you to stay behind and not get to go to that. I just need to know so that we can get it covered, okay? And then October 1st is Team Picture Day. So that's where you're going to have to arrive before your game schedule time and get pictures. They're usually down in the amphitheater. I will get you all the picture information the Saturday before that for you to hand out to the parents with the schedule, the picture forms, all of that, so that they have it. And then if you have people gone that Saturday, you can give it to them at practice before. The photographer always has extras at the stand to fill out. Like, parents are always like, oh no, I can't find it. But it's best if they come prepared. It just makes it go smoother. So we try to make sure that they have it, but they do have backups there. As far as the 4th through 6th graders, what we're looking at doing, and I still have to confirm this with my photographer, is I'm going to have everyone show up before the first game so that we can get one solid big picture that would be fun, we thought, for the whole entire league because of the way we're doing it. Again, I have to talk to him to see if he is going to be able to facilitate that large of a group, which I would think, especially in the amphitheater. And then we'll go through each individual team as kids want to get individual pictures and break that up. It will be for a little bit longer when, everyone shows up at 9:30 and some don't play till like 12. But they can leave and come back or different things like that as well. So we'll work through those logistics of it. And then on October 29th is our last day, game day, and then our season awards. So at the end of that day, we will run a coach game like we did last year. The kids and coaches really enjoyed it. And so that's where coaches who want to participate in it will play a flag football game. Cheer coaches that want to participate will be the cheerleaders for it, and then we encourage the kids to come watch and cheer on their coaches and have fun with that. And then we do a short ceremony in our sanctuary afterwards where we pass out the end of season gifts to the kids and get to see them one more time and just pour into them. Okay? That was a lot for me. Woo! What do we think? Good to go. Any questions on the logistics of stuff? No? Good morning. So what is going to happen, again, we're recording this, so I will have it broken up into 3 videos. Mike is going to do that for me. The first part will be kind of the admin portion, logistics. That'll be one video. We'll have a football video and a cheer video. So then that will be on band that you can go back and review. But please don't ever hesitate to send me emails or texts through band, or even if you have my number, I don't mind at all, and I want to be here to help serve you guys as you guys serve all the children here, okay? So I am here to utilize if something comes up. Do not hesitate. Like, oh no, she probably said this, but just ask again. I'm happy to help, okay? All right, we're going to take a short break so that we can split the cheer off to the other room and football stays in here. Get a little snack, some coffee, use the restroom, and then we'll start back up.